I am Slick Nick, the living legend of hair loss, your personal hairline hero, and, let's face it, the face of the franchise of hair loss. Let's just go ahead and get this on out there. And this video will definitely earn thumbs down. Definitely. Because I'm going to say something that's very unpopular among insecure men. And that is that I am too confident to get a hair transplant. I am too confident to take Propecia or some other kind of drugs to prevent any further hair loss. I'm too confident for that. When I was a kid, this would have been when I was about 10 years old, there was a song by Right Said Fred called I'm Too Sexy. You've probably heard it in commercials or something. Look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious. And it was meant to be a novelty song. The group that did the song, they were gay men, and they were openly gay, and they were at the gym all the time. And the song is making fun of this sort of overkill macho idea that they'd see all these guys basically trying to compete with themselves, being too sexy for themselves. So in the song, he even says, I'm too sexy for myself. And it's hilarious. And it was a hit song for a reason. It was a novelty song that really connected. So, with that being said, instead of saying I'm too sexy for myself, I'm saying I'm too confident for a hair transplant. I'm too confident to take drugs to stop my hair. Now granted, I would tell you by my own rules, as you see in the video below, that tells you the 5 questions you ask yourself to determine if you're going to be bald most of your life or not. I already know that I'm past the point of going aggressively bald at this point in my life, at least for the next several decades. That might change by the time I'm in my 70s. But for the most part, I already know that I'm not going to suddenly go bald. But if I did, I'm too confident to get a hair transplant. I'm too confident to take drugs to stop hair loss. And that's the thing. It's which came first, the confidence or the hair? Well, when you're Nick Shell, the hair is irrelevant. You're confident because you're confident. Well, ultimately, I would say you're confident because, as I always referred to my list here, number 3. Look at number 3 on that list. Yes, number 1 is being confident, but number 3, it says, finds his identity and his unique skill set. He's aware of what he's good at. Recently, I had a viewer leave a comment saying, Nick, I am a teenager and I don't know what I'm good at. How do I know? I said, what are you bad at? Because the way you often find out what you're good at is by knowing what you're horrible at. Just do the opposite of what you're horrible at. So I'm bad at math, at science, at engineering, at building anything. I'm bad at that. But in high school, I learned, well, actually, could I play guitar? So I learned how to play guitar. I learned how to sing. I learned how to write songs. I learned how to act in plays. And all of that allowed me to become a better communicator. And then I learned how to make money online through my website, through my YouTube channels. So by default, I'm like, if I'm not good at math and science and engineering, what else could I be good at? And I just tried some things and found out what I was good at. But see, that's a big part of me. I know what I'm bad at. I know that I can't fix a car or put in hardwood floor in a house. I know, and it's funny because we are putting new hardwood floor in our house, and I'm not the kind of guy who's going to be able to do that myself. We're hiring Lowe's to do it. But see, I know that about myself. I know that I'm not a handyman. I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm bad at. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down now. So ultimately, you know who you are by what you're bad at and what you're good at. And you're not insecure about what you're bad at. You accept that. Hey, this is never gonna be me. And I almost celebrate that. I make a joke about that. Ultimately, I'm too confident to feel bad about myself, especially about something I can't naturally control. Now granted, let me give you a good example. As you all know, I turned 40 in 6 months. 6 months from now, April 2021. And since I turned 35, the dad bod, I was morphing into the dad bod. When I saw Avengers Endgame and I saw Thor, fat Thor, I immediately laughed But then the rest of the time I saw him on the screen, I'm like, that looks a little bit like me with my shirt off. And it suddenly wasn't as funny the rest of the movie. So I joined the gym this year. I have radically changed how I eat. I've been very open-minded. I went from vegan to heavy protein to pescatarian, and now I'm in a situation where I'm counting my calories, less than 2,000 a day, at least 100 grams of protein a day, intermittent fasting, at the gym an hour a day, plus then 2 walking 2 miles. I'm doing a lot of stuff to control what I actually can. It's funny because I don't care about hair. I could go bald tomorrow and I'd be just as confident because my confidence isn't based on hair. But the thing I actually do care about, something that I am passionate about, is being fit and healthy. And of course that's on the list. We're being judged on our level of fitness and how healthy we are because we largely control that. It's on the list. So that's something I am passionate about. So if I ever get to the point where those videos become more popular than these silly hair videos, I'll be glad to just do every video on that. But so far, these hair videos gain too much viewership and earn me too much money not to do them. So that's the reason I keep doing them. But ultimately, you control your level of confidence. It's funny because even speaking of Cobra Kai, I know I like to talk about Cobra Kai, but Hawk, he was born with a scar right here. And he went from a person who barely even spoke to someone who became almost too confident later on in the tournament, which you'll see at the end of season 1 if you haven't seen that yet. So it's funny how it just takes a mindset of choosing to be victorious in your mindset and instead of allowing yourself to be a victim who can't control things. Yeah, you control your own confidence. Imagine how remarkable of a concept that is, that a man could say, you know what? Yeah, I'm too confident to have to get a hair transplant. I'm too confident to take Propecia or finasteride or whatever it is. I don't need that to be confident. I don't need to buy my confidence like someone going to college and join a fraternity. I don't need to buy my friends. I already have what I need within. Actually, I'm the life of the party. I'm the host and I'm the DJ. I may not be out there doing the stuff, but ultimately, I am the master of puppets pulling the strings. I'm in charge of this because most people are not decisive. Most people will not recognize that they get to make their own confidence and secret. No one can tell the real difference. No one can tell the difference between real confidence and fake confidence. What's the difference? They don't know. Only you would know that. And it's funny because so much of my success in life is pretending to be confident in myself. Just by default, most people are afraid of public speaking and communicating. They don't want to be the first to say something. I've made a point to be the first. Even if I'm sort of making fun of myself or whatever, being silly, it shows confidence. So yeah, I'm too confident for hair loss. Now, granted, that's heresy in the hair loss community, right? There are thousands of viewers who watch hair loss videos, not just my channel, but all the other ones, the channels that are more popular than mine, where the premise is, yes, you should do something about your hair if you want to be liked. And I'm the opposite of that. It's heresy to say that I'm too confident to need something like that. But it's funny because you could be the same as me. Nick, I don't have the right head shape. If I go bald, then it's all about you exuding that confidence. It's very easy to manipulate people into believing that you're confident. It really is. It's just a matter of starting with the action. And the action number 1, get rid of the porn. You're allowing yourself to, in essence, be sexually assaulted. Number 2, shave off your hair. Get a preview of what that would look like if you did go bald. Most of my viewers aren't willing to take those steps. And most of my viewers aren't willing to watch the video in the description, which accurately tells them if they're going to go bald or not by asking 5 questions to be followed up by the 10 things that actually you are being judged on. Which again, your confidence level is number 1. So imagine the guy that says, well, I'd feel good about myself if I had better hair. Meanwhile, there's a guy who's balder and younger who says, I don't need hair to be confident. Look at all the great things I have in life. And I've got a really pretty girlfriend. Look, and I'm 20 and I'm completely bald on top. I didn't need that. Why do you need that? See, I never want to be the guy that bases my confidence on something that I have no control over. And when somebody else can do a better job with less to work with. Your comments are right here.